All right, hey, it's Rob, and just wanted to make a quick video about the latest development in AI that seemed to just come out of the blue. I mean, these things just show up, and then they're already, like, not even in beta. They are just ready for prime time, ready to rock and roll. This service is called NotebookLM. You can Google it, and you can try it out for yourself. Basically, you can input any text document. I inputted a set of my song lyrics. I also had to make a podcast about an ebook that I wrote about Michael Jackson a few years ago. But anyway, I'm going to attach to this video the podcast that was generated based on these song lyrics I submitted from this silly song I have called Ghosting Me. And boy, they made it sound like, I'm some, really established songwriter who, puts a lot of work into these lyrics. Is probably something I knocked out in 10 minutes. But anyway, they make me sound like I know what I'm talking about, so I liked listening to it. But anyway, try it out for yourself. Notebook LM. It will generate a very realistic sounding hosted podcast with a male and a female host. I mean, I would say 6 months ago, I could listen to AI-generated voices and definitely pick out where, all right, they're mispronouncing names, or there's weird spacing, or things that made me think it was AI-generated. We've all seen on YouTube these horrible, stilted, choppy AI voices, just narrating about, some random topic or whatever, and it's clear that this is AI generated. Well, these are pretty good. I mean, these are conversational. I really would have to listen close, and I don't know. I mean, I could pretty much say, just as like a casual listener, I would totally be fooled. So let's check out the podcast that was generated by Notebook LM, again, based on a set of lyrics that I submitted. You can submit any kind of text, PDF, anything like that, and it will generate a realistic sounding podcast. So listen for yourself. Let me know what you think. It's a brave new world out there.
Ever get that feeling? Like someone you thought you knew just vanished. Poof, gone.
We're not talking about your missing socks here, though those are a mystery too, right?
Right.
No, today's deep dive is all about ghosting. But get this, our source material isn't a relationship advice column or anything like that. We're going to the source, baby song lyrics.
Interesting. Because even in a format as, let's say, compact as song lyrics, you can often find these kernels of universal experience, right? The way they capture emotions, anxieties, things that maybe we haven't quite articulated in everyday conversation. Music is kind of a direct line to those feelings. Totally. And the song doesn't mess around. The very first line hits you right between the eyes. I mean, ears, it's, I know you are ghosting me when you don't answer the phone. Mm-hmm. Straightforward, right? No sugarcoating. Just that gut punch of being ignored. Every time I hear that lyric, it takes me back to, I'm sure I'm not alone here. Those moments where you're just left hanging, wondering what happened. Like, hello? Am I invisible over here?
It is that feeling of invisibility, I think, that really gets at the heart of why ghosting is so painful. And it's something we see, unfortunately, more and more these days. It's almost like the very technology that makes it so easy to connect with people also makes it easier to, disconnect.
For sure. And the song doesn't let the ghoster off the hook either. There's a line, kind of haunting actually, that says, but it will haunt you forever the way you're ghosting me. So it makes you wonder, right? What's going on with the person doing the ghosting? Are they haunted by their actions? Is it guilt? Or is it something else entirely?
It's a question worth considering, isn't it? And it reminds us that there are always multiple perspectives, multiple experiences at play. Now, this isn't to say that we should excuse the behavior, but I do think it's important to at least acknowledge the possibility that the person who disappeared might be dealing with their own issues, their own ghosts, so to speak.
It's like they say, hurt people hurt people. Not that that makes it okay, but it adds a layer of complexity, don't you think?
Absolutely. Understanding the potential motivations doesn't excuse the action, but it does allow for a more nuanced perspective, wouldn't you say?
100%. And speaking of nuance, this song gets seriously evocative. I mean, just listen to these lines. Sheets full of holes, vanished into the ether, even describing a voice as the whistling wind through the trees. It's almost as if being ghosted isn't just an absence. It creates this kind of eerie presence.
Right. It's the imagery, isn't it? That use of figurative language. Metaphors like that, those sensory details, they take something as abstract as ghosting and make it feel incredibly real, almost visceral even. You can almost feel that wind, hear those echoes, even after the song is over. Powerful stuff.
It really gets under your skin, doesn't it? Okay, so we've unpacked the lyrics, the emotions, even touched on the psychology a little bit, but what's the takeaway? What can we learn from a song about ghosting?
I think it shows us how even something as seemingly simple as a song can spark these incredibly complex conversations. Because ghosting isn't just about dating, is it? It's a reflection of how we communicate, how we deal with conflict, or rather, how we avoid it. It raises questions about the nature of connection, especially in our increasingly digital world.
It's true. Every interaction, even online, leaves a trace. And those traces, well, they have a way of lingering, which makes me wonder, and maybe this is something for our listeners to ponder, what can we ever truly disappear completely? Or do our actions, our words always leave some kind of mark on the world, even if it's just in the digital ether?
I like that. Something to think about.
Right. Okay, everyone. Until next time, remember to treat each other with kindness and answer your phone once in a while.